VOD 10.
Yeah, I had a few people request a video on some competition type shooting drills that I do. I happen to be shooting a match this Sunday down at Wauseon, and I'm practicing my drills right now. So I'm going to run you through a few practice drills that I like to do before I go shoot a match. Alright, for these drills, I'm going to use something very simple, paper plates. I'm going to use these as my targets. The reason I like these is because they're good and cheap, shoot the hell out of them, and because they're good and white, you're able to see your shots pretty good decently, and you're able to get a good relevancy of shot. If I would use something like a cardboard, like a darker brown that you would use in a competition, you really can't see your shots as you're shooting them. So you're not sure about your shot placement, and this is a good way to understand your shot placement. Plus it's cheap, man. I mean, you know what I mean? So this is what I'm going to use in these drills. We're going to use these two types of paper plates. We're going to use in the normal ones, and what I did is I cut little square paper plates, and these will be my headshots, or smaller type shooting I'm going to use, and we'll cover that in drills. Alright, for this first drill, we're going to go ahead and do it just very simple. We're going to draw the firearm, line up the target, we're going to check our stance, check our grip, check our angle to the target if we're leaning in a little bit back or forth, just to get a good reference of how we're shooting right off the bat and a good reference to shot. What I'll do first, I'll do a couple dry runs, with the firearm unloaded. Go ahead and do like I normally would with my draw. Start my hand, come up. Now, depending on your competition shooting, you might draw a little different. Firstly, I'm fixing to shoot an IDPA match, so I have to draw for some concealment. I'll have my vest on or whatever right now, and then I'll do the sweep. But the point is for this first drill is just to get a good basics and reference the shot. Alright, for this next drill, I'm going to do a turn drill. And this is basically a form of El Presidente. If you guys don't know, that's basically a qualifier type stage where you're going to turn into your target, draw, fire a couple of shots, reload, and go ahead and fire on the other shots. Depending on what type of competition you shoot, the type of reload will be different. Mostly in IDPA, it's from slide lock, and it's one shot to the body. Slide lock, and then go back to the body one more time. So basically, in this thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start facing away from the target. I'm going to turn to whatever side I draw the firearm. This hand I'm right-handed, so I'll go ahead and turn, engage the target, shoot. In this case I only got two targets set up, so I'll shoot two targets, do a slide lock reload, and then go ahead and shoot them one more time on each target. So it'll be 4 shots total. Alright, one thing I want to note on this drill is when you're doing the turning, don't sweep anything you're not going to want to sweep, you know what I mean? You don't want your gun barrel going past the 180 mark, or for instance, a part of your body or whatnot. What I like to do when I do my spin is I don't even start to pull the firearm until I reached about here. Say I'm facing this way. I don't start to even draw until I'm about here. That way when I do come up with it, I'm well beyond, well within the 180 mark, so I don't, get DQ'd. So basically, I'll start from the rear. So just don't sweep. That's all I'm saying. Don't sweep anything you don't want. All right, for this next drill, we're going to use a barricade, something like this. This is a simple barricade that I made out of scrap wood and I stuck in the ground. If you want to know how to do something like this, check out my basic range info video, and it'll tell you how to basically put this baby in the ground so you can use it. For this drill, what we're going to basically covering is slicing the pie and using cover. Now, depending on what type of competition you shoot, your cover might be a little different, but you still have to slice the pie in many situations on stages. You know, it's procedural. For IDPA, though, cover is kind of mandatory when you have to use it. So what I like to do is I like to define my mark on my cover. Now, first of all, when you're doing any kind of barricade situation, you want to be able to understand the relevancy of your feet position on the ground to the cover of the top. In IDPA rules, you can't have more than like 50% of your legs or something like that. Basically, your feet have to be within a certain area, and they like to put boxes down sometimes. For this reference, I like to use a simple piece of wood, and I'll lay this on the ground, and this will reference my feet line so I don't cross this, stick my feet out too far, and blow my cover. Now, that's good and all for IDPA, but let's say you're just doing normal IPSC type shooting and you're slicing the pie. Now, what I mean by slicing the pie is you're shooting targets as you see them. So say I round this corner and I see this target first, and I'm going to engage this target first. Now say there's a target here and there's a target to the left, and I'm cutting this corner to the right. Now if I skip that first target and engage that second target right next to him, to his left, I will be shooting out of order, and I basically left myself exposed to get shot by that first guy because I didn't shoot him first as I seen him. That's called slicing the pie. It's like a military technique, if you will. So in this drill, we're going to cover a few slicing the pie techniques and using proper cover. Alright, when shooting around cover, you want to be careful not to crowd your cover, or crowd the barricade in this matter. What I mean by this is you don't want to be so close to the target that, or so close to the barricade that, and it happens your way of moving. So say I'm this close into the barricade, and I go ahead and do my draw and line up to my target. Now I can cut this barricade pretty tight, but it also limits my movement because I'm right next to this barricade. And say somebody wanted to move up on me, I'm so close that if they wanted to slice their own pie on me, basically I'd be an easier target because I really don't got much where to go. Now if I was back a little further, back about right around here, I could slice the pie pretty good still, and if I had to, I can easily transition out of the way pretty fast and, for instance, slice the pie on this side if I wanted to. Alright, this last drill we're going to do is what they call a failure drill. This is basically a form of qualifier also in most shooting competitions. What I mean by this is you shoot them twice in the chest, you know your act, so you pop them in the noodle once. So what I'm going to do in this is I'm going to shoot 2 to the chest, and then I'm going to put another paper target, the square target, right above them, and that'll be a headshot. So it'll go boom, boom, boom. And basically a failure drill. It's a good drill to focus because you do fast on the chest, and then all of a sudden you got to go up and make a pretty decent, well-placed headshot. So, good practice.
Our forefathers have earned and bought liberty for us at the expense of their ease, their estates, their pleasures, and their blood. Liberty is not built on the doctrine that a few nobles have a right to inherit the earth. No! No! It stands on this principle that the meanest and lowest of the people are, by the unalterable, indefeasible laws of God and nature, as well entitled to the benefit of the air to breathe, light to see, food to eat, and clothes to wear as the nobles or the king. That is liberty. And liberty will reign in America.